Hi everybody, welcome to the very first Montview Supper Club. We're making history here. I want to first say that Cindy's not here with me today. She had a medical procedure earlier in the week and she's doing great. She's feeling fine, but not quite ready, not quite camera ready, I guess, for this. So she'll join us at the next one, and I'm assuming if you found this, you've had a good dinner and you've had a chance to check in together, getting to know each other a little bit, and made your way to YouTube. So I hope it's all gone well. This is a pilot program, so we'd love to hear your feedback on things too, so please let us know. For this first month, we thought that we would start with the idea of community. Since you're building a community yourselves, and of course you're involved in lots of different communities, I want to go through pretty quickly 3 ingredients of community that I find in Jesus and his teachings and the values that he taught with his own disciples. So I'm going to take you through 3 things: service, love, and hospitality, and unpack those a little bit. And with service, our first one, I want to start with a reading from Matthew 20:20. This is a story about the sons of Zebedee, John and James, 2 of the disciples. And I'm reading with 20:20 if you want to pick this up there. Then the mother of the sons of Zebedee came to him with her sons, and kneeling before him, she asked a favor of him. And he said to her, "What do you want?" And she said, "Declare that these 2 sons of mine will sit at one at your right hand and one at your left in your kingdom." And Jesus answered, "You do not know what you are asking. Are you able to drink the cup that I am about to drink?" And they said to him, "We are able." And he said to them, "You will indeed drink my cup, but to sit at my right hand and my left, this is not mine to grant, for it is for those for whom it has been prepared by my Father." And I'll stop there just a minute to, you see the mother of these 2, like any good mother, is trying to make a special place for her sons. She's in a world where it's hierarchical, and she is wanting them to have a special place with Jesus. She sees him as special, and she wants them to be near him. It's a reminder of our own world and all the hierarchies we live in, and Jesus is about to reverse that. So that sets it up, and then it says, when the 10 heard it, the other 10 disciples, they were angry with the 2 brothers. But Jesus called them to him and said, "You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their great ones are tyrants over them. And it will not be so among you. But whoever wishes to be great among you must be your servant. And whoever wishes to be first among you must be your slave, just as the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve." This is a turning upside down of the hierarchies that we're all a part of, and it's very tempting, I think, for us to fall into these. I know I certainly do, and I think of all of you at your supper club meetings. You're new to each other. You're in a new place that's maybe you're a little anxious about it, and it's easy, I think, to fall into the trap of wanting to show that you're special, that that people will like you. And Jesus is suggesting a very different way of being in the world together. Really flips it on its head, and it's really much more about how you can be a servant to other people. Now the reverse, there's a trap that can happen there too, is that you can become the servant, and maybe you're the one at the supper club that's cleaning up everyone's dishes so that you can be the servant. But it's still all about you. The subtlety of this is to move it away from your ego, whatever you want to call it. That this is really a lifetime's journey of letting go of ourselves and truly moving into a kind of a place of service toward others. That I think is an important part of being in real community. The second one I want to mention to you is love, and I will remind you here of the great commandment. This is Mark 12:28. You've heard this before, I would imagine. One of the scribes came near and heard them disputing with one another, and seeing that he answered them well, he asked them, "Which commandment is the first of all?" And Jesus answered, "The first is, 'Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and with all your mind and with all of your strength. And the second is this, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. And there is no other commandment greater than these." And the whole of the Christian gospel is sometimes reduced to that idea, that we are, as Christians, as followers of Christ, as little Christs, to love God and to love neighbor. And this is, if you get that right, you've got it. But this is not an easy thing to do, because loving someone is not the same as being nice to someone. I'm certainly in social gatherings where everyone's very nice to each other, but it's really a question of what's motivating you to be there. Are you there to get something, or are you there to give something? Love is a kind of an emptying out of that need to grasp and to hold. As a clear contrast, I think of someone who's there to network. If you're at a function and you're just there to get some phone numbers, and that's fine for business. It's not about, I don't mean that. But if you're trying to develop a community of love, that's very different. And it's again, this kind of reversal of what we see a lot of in the world that I think Jesus calls us to in community. That's first of all about serving others, and then the motivation for that serving is because we love God and we love our neighbor. To love is to open one's heart. There's a riskiness to this that's not included when you're simply there to really get something for yourself, and being nice doesn't require a lot of risk-taking or open-heartedness. So I'd invite you to think about that and talk about that some.